If you're looking at a manufactured home here in Prince George, whether you're buying your first home, relocating from out of town, or picking one up as a rental property, there's one detail almost nobody explains to you before you sign anything. It has nothing to do with the house itself. It's two small metal tags that the seller is supposed to hand you. And if those tags go missing, you cannot just walk into an office and get new ones. I'm going to show you exactly what those tags mean, why your ownership is protected differently than it would be on a regular house, and the park rules you need to read before you fall in love with the listing, and the one mistake on the rental pad side that can quietly cost you hundreds of dollars a month. Let's get into it. Manufactured homes used to get overlooked in this market, but that's changing. For the first-time home buyers trying to get into something affordable, for investors looking at lower entry costs with solid rental demand, and for anyone relocating to Prince George who wants ownership without the price tag of a standard house, manufactured homes are worth a real look. Lower purchase price, lower carrying costs, and a smaller footprint to maintain, but here's the thing. Manufactured homes are treated differently under BC law than a standard house, and that affects how you buy, how you finance, and what happens later if you want to sell or move. Here's the part that surprises most buyers, and it's worth sitting with this for a second. On a regular house purchase here in Prince George, your ownership gets registered on a certificate of title, and that title is backed by a government guarantee called indefeasibility. Basically, once it's registered properly, the government ensures that your ownership can't be wiped out by some hidden defect you didn't know about, and if something does go wrong, there's an assurance fund standing behind you. A manufactured home doesn't work that way. There's no certificate of title. Instead, your ownership gets recorded with the manufactured homes registry, and a protection from that assurance fund simply doesn't extend to it. That's not a reason to avoid buying one. It just means the care you put into the paperwork matters even more, because there isn't a government safety net catching mistakes along the way. So if there's no title, how does anyone prove ownership? That's where the decals come in. When a manufactured home is properly registered, it gets issued two decals, and those are meant to last for the lifetime of the home. Almost like a VIN number on a vehicle. They have to be physically affixed to the home in the spot set out for them. And if you don't keep them attached, you can actually be on the hook for a penalty. Here's the part that trips most people up if you ever sell the home, or if those decals get lost or damaged. You don't get to apply for brand new ones. You either keep using the original decals or have the same ones reissued. Decals are not like a certificate of title. They are proof of registration, and that distinction matters the moment you go to sell, finance, or insure your home. And here's something that catches buyers off guard just as often as the title issue. Most manufactured homes in Prince George sit inside a privately run park, and that park is allowed to set its own rules on top of whatever the Provincial Manufactured Home Park Tenancy Act already covers. Think pet restrictions, rules around exterior additions like sheds or decks, parking limits, and in some communities, age restrictions tied to 55 plus living. Those rules don't show up on the title search, and they don't show up on the MLS listing either. You have to ask the park manager directly for a copy of the current rules and bylaws before you commit to an offer. I've seen buyers fall in love with the home, only to find out afterward that the park doesn't allow the fence they wanted or the dog they already owned. Read the rules first, fall in love with the home second. Now, a lot of manufacturers' homes here in Prince George, including budget-friendly options, sit on a rented pad rather than land you own outright. This is the step where I see buyers get caught off guard the most. When you buy a home, the existing tenant, meaning the seller, has to formally assign that pad lease over to you. That means they follow a specific process and get written consent from the park owner before the sale closes. The park owner has up to 10 days to consider that request. If that assignment doesn't happen or it gets done incorrectly, you do not automatically keep the same lease terms the seller had. You could end up with a brand new lease, a rent increase, or terms you never agreed to walking in. This is the single most overlooked step in the entire manufactured home purchase, and it's exactly why I walk every client through this before they get attached to a property. Now let's say you've bought the home, and down the road you want to relocate it. Maybe you're moving from a pad in town out towards somewhere like Beaverly or Buckhorn. You just can't hook it up and drive it away though. The home has to be registered. Every dollar of property tax owing on it has to be paid in full, and only then can you apply for what's called a transport permit. That permit only authorizes the move to one specific location, and it's only valid for 30 days from the date it's issued. If your timeline slips past that window, you're back to square one. This is exactly the kind of detail that gets missed when people are juggling moving trucks, work schedules, and closing dates all at once. But none of this means a manufactured home is the wrong move here in Prince George. For first-time home buyers, relocators, and investors alike, it's often one of the smartest ways to get into ownership without overextending yourself. It just means the paperwork carries more weight than it does on a standard house because the safety net you might be expecting from indefeasibility and the insurance fund simply isn't there. Get the decals confirmed, read the park rules before you offer, and get the pad lease assignment handled properly and in writing. Do that, and you will walk into this with your eyes open instead of finding out the hard way. Navigating the Prince George real estate market doesn't have to be stressful. I have a free seller's guide if you're planning to list, a relocation guide for anyone moving to Prince George, but if you're looking to buy, want more tailored information, ask for my home buyers program. On top of the buyer's guide, I'll send you exclusively weekly videos and emails to walk you through the process step by step. Just comment the word guide below, tell me which one fits your situation, and I'll send the link right over. And when you're ready to actually look at homes or list your property, the easiest way to connect is to call, text, or email. All those details are in the description. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.